Hi guys, Merry Christmas. So, I promised your mom I'd be sending y'all a fun little Christmas video, kind of filled with music, so that way you guys can start playing your new guitars, and we can get a good jump start on our lessons that hopefully will start off towards mid to late January. With the guitar, we want to remember that there are a few things to establish to make sure we understand what we're doing when we play it, right? Because our left hand is very valuable. It's as valuable as our right hand when it comes to playing the thing, all right? So when we look at the guitar, right, we have the body, this big old brown thing right here. Yours might be yellow or orange or even like a natural wood color. And then we have the neck of the guitar, which is right here, right? So we have where all these strings are resting and these frets. I'm gonna explain what those are in a second. And then right here we have the headstock. The headstock is where we keep our tuning keys. This is how you tune the strings, because kind of like our shoestrings on our sneakers, we have to make sure that the strings on the guitar are nice and tight, but also in tune, particularly in tune with one another, so we can create some wonderful music instead of just like, oh, I don't know, that doesn't really sound great, right? So I'm gonna run you through how to tune your guitar real quick, okay? Each of these strings, right? This sixth one, our low E string. This fifth one, our A string. D, G, B, and E. These 6 strings, as you can hear, they have names. We tune the guitar to those names by a tuner, or if we go on YouTube, there are reference notes or reference sounds we can tune these strings to. The way we do that is by using the tuning keys over here. Now, don't worry if your guitar's tuning keys or the headstock looks different from this one. This was, this is my Christmas gift to myself this year. But it still works the same way if you have 3 on one side and 3 on the other, all right? What you do is, if you're going to be tuning, let's say your first string, this one right here, that's closest to your thigh, we tune that to what's called high E, okay? So what we do is we play that string, and if we need to tighten it because it doesn't sound as close to being in tune as what we hear in a YouTube video or something where it's like, ba, you might tighten it by going clockwise, right over here. And if it's a little too out of tune or too out of tune like this, again, tighten it clockwise. And if it's a little too sharp, meaning it's a little too high pitch, kind of like this, well, then you just tune it down. And then tune it up just a little bit right here in order to make sure that the string stays nice and tight. We do that for all 6 strings. So we go to the B string, that one's in tune. Geez, this is the G string, that one's in tune. Ooh, that's my D string. It's a little flat, meaning it needs to be tightened that counterclockwise. So what we'll do is, and sometimes it helps to just reference these notes to one another like this. That sounds in tune because they sound the same when I play this note and this open string, the G string. We'll go over that as we get into our first real in-person lesson together. But just remember, when you're tuning your guitars at home, make sure they are being tuned to, each string is being tuned to whatever YouTube video that your mom has pulled up. I'm gonna send her some so it can be helpful to get you guys rocking. Let's move on, right? So we have that, and then we have my A. Well, that's really out of tune, so. Too high, right? the one that's closest to our chin, this big thick one right here. That's pretty out of tune. If we reference it to our high E string, this bottom one over here that's already in tune, we can go like this. Kind of like we're pinching something. We're playing both strings at the same time with the right hand like this. Now, as you heard right there for a brief moment, those strings were a little, like, as they got closer to being in tune with one another, you kind of heard like this weird, like, wah, 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 until it was finally like, wah, right? I'll demonstrate it one more time for you, so. You hear that, wah, 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 wah. So it's getting real close to being in tune with one another. Once we play it again, tighten it. Hear how that wah, 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 wah is all gone? That means it's in tune. So that's your first little lesson here in regards to how to play the guitar, right? How to tune your guitar. I'm gonna make you guys another video, and that's gonna go over a little bit about how to play on the fretboard, which is this big brown wooden bit here with all these rectangles, and interact with our strings, right? These long lines here that go from here all the way to over here. Merry Christmas, y'all.